So, our next series tonight will be Hazel versus Snipe. Hazel, I think she also got into Brood War about a year ago. I was back to Brood War slightly earlier than her, but what I hear is that she used to play a long time ago. She's Chinese American. She plays Zerg and she practices quite rigorously, I should say. She practices about 4 days a week, and she has Vir from the Clan Revolution as her personal coach. So she's improving quite a bit, but she never really got to play in any of the CPL, so coach-pupil leagues. And we know that our next player, her opponent here, is one of the admins for that format. So Snipe being honestly, yep, Snipe, you're definitely allowed to cheer for yourself. So yeah, Snipe being one of the pillars in the admin scene for the Coach Pupil League, facing here off against Hazel, which is the Zerg player that has never really been in any of the CPLs. So let's see how that goes. Is it enough to just have some passion and not even join any of these self-improvement formats like CPL? Is that enough to? Is that what you need to take on one of the big names in CPL, I should add, not just because of his adminning skills, but his play, his StarCraft skills are also quite high. So I'm quite hyped for that series. I think we've got Snipe here. Map is tilted, by the way, and Snipe is spawning in the bottom right corner, while Hazel is spawning in the top corner. And I think for this series, Snipe will be the clear favorite. But you never know. I always like the Dark Horse story, so maybe Hazel can show some good games. I'm sure Ox is gonna root for Hazel, so she is not gonna go unnoticed without any cheaters. And I'm also kind of rooting for Hazel, even though I think Snipe should be the better player in that series. Although, the one thing I can say for sure, Snipe, because I know you're in chat, is Hazel is improving every day, so I think if you have your series in 2 months' time, she will be much tougher opponent than she was over here. And I don't even know what her skill was over here. So, as in most of the recent players, Hazel will possibly go for either the very standard play or the very aggressive play, and she goes for the very standard play, and I don't blame her for that. She's going for the overpull. She will try to plant down this hatchery, but Snipe knows the power of annoying probes. Blocks that hatchery for a little bit, and then decides to let her off easily and give her the hatchery. Okay, so I lied, we did not find an easy fix. The lagging problem falling in, it does not seem to fix it. Hazel here going for the standard 2 drones, 2 links after the overpull, just to chase that scouting probe away. Sees where the Protoss is spawned and turns around. Very nicely done. Make sure that there's no one base cheap Protoss cheese. I do like when I play against Hazel to occasionally throw down these either 9-9 or 10-12 gateways. And she sometimes is quite frustrated about them. She's really nice. She's quite an emotional player. So yeah, my point is I'm not giving you any advice for your next series Snipe, but she doesn't really like the two gate openers. Let's see if she's gonna start mining gas properly. Yep, that seems to be the case. And meanwhile, Snipe is going for everything standard. Forged and cannon. So yeah, look at that. The core timing will be much faster. Let's see where this core is going to be at 4 minutes 10 seconds. Compared to the last game when team score was quite late. But we see that Snipe sees that there is no layer and there is one building over here. It's way too close to the minerals to be another hatchery, so without clicking on it I can definitely tell you what it is. And as you see, 4 minute 10 approaches and the core is almost done, and I said it should be done. And Stargate should be started, but maybe I'm a bit off, maybe Snipe slipped a bit in this game, a few seconds. So yeah, as I told you, that building is too close to the minerals to be a hatchery, and there is no layer, so you know what's coming. Let's see what Snipe's reaction to this is. So he is not starting his +1 because he knows that will be pointless. He is going for an early citadel, which I like. Let's see. He is after the citadel, he will go for the Templar Archives, which I think will make no sense. Or if he's just gonna go for that Zealot speed upgrade. So making some cannons to make sure that he doesn't actually initiate Hydro aggression. Hydras should now be, yep, they are in production. Some Hydras being popped out. I believe Hazel was supply block there for a moment. Hydra speed is already done, as you can see. Hydra range is now being researched. There is no evolution chamber. So Hazel is not really planning to go for that +1 bust. But there also is no layer being made, so she does not have any plans for a long game either. And again, you can see. Oh. I was gonna say you can see the number of workers in each base, but she did not go for 973. She went for 972, and she's making a 4th base, which is almost 973 for white. At least as far as I can tell. She's being annoying, but Snipe has quite a few cannons. Just bleeding some of these zealots. Okay, pull them back. I was gonna say you don't really want to bleed any of these units for free. So Hydro range is done right now, and I'm not quite sure why this... It is a bit annoying when you're attacking... when you're at the top and you're trying to attack to the bottom. In Brood War, Reavers are especially buggy in that sense, but you can see that Hydras are not that much different, even though they should have been able to get that forge way earlier. They didn't. Snipe is remaking that forge and he's going for that +1. So, okay, I was wrong. I thought that Snipe was gonna go for Templar Archives. after his Citadel, but he just seems to have gone for the Zealot Legs upgrade. And +1. And he's just now adding the Templar Archives. That Zealot being a bit lost over here. So let's see. Okay, so Hazel. let's see if Snipe can break through. There's not that many Hydras, and Snipe did manage to confirm that Hazel was not building any more Hydras and was going for drones instead, which means that these Zealots, they did almost beautifully take no losses. Managed to break free of that, and with these drones that Hazel showed to Snipe, and that's more drones that he sees. He knows that there are no Hydras being made. So what you see is what you get basically for the Hydras, and they are no match currently for these Zealots. And I think that might be the beginning of the end for Snipe. There is a Krypton here, but this will honestly not save you. Snipe could go for the main base here and snipe the Hydroden, so that Hazel is not able to produce any more Hydras. But instead he decides to hold that second factory, which is also a good idea. Let's see if he's gonna engage these Hydras. Looks like the answer is no. Doing some guerrilla tactics, trying to split some of these Zealots into the main or natural. That's not really gonna work, so he will go with his full force Zealots, and I believe that will be enough. But let's see. So back in Snipe space, he is making quite a few High Templars, so that is good. He's not sleep. There is a Zealot now in the main base. Let's see how many kills can that Zealot get. There was one drone that he managed to snipe over here. And it seems like that might be it. Or is he gonna be able to get on the second drone? I believe the answer is no. Okay, so it seems like my machine lets me cast. Seems like Hazel has managed to hold it off. Honestly, what are these random clicks? I'm asking my setup that question. So we saw that Hazel was able to hold off the Protoss aggression, and honestly did not lose that many workers. I was expecting her to be way more behind in terms of worker count. So Hazel already showing some nice performance, managing to keep up with Snipe for the duration of that game. Yeah, sure, she lost her 4th base, and that was definitely not a good thing, but being able to hold off that Zealot force that Snipe had with the right before their +1 hit, I think she did a good job. And let's see how the Hydrophone looks over here. If she can snipe all these High Templars before they throw down their storms, but no, instead she takes a massive blow from that one of these storms. Snipe's storms are just obliterating everything. Hazel's nicely focusing down the Archon with these sunken colonies, but I think second time is the charm for our Protoss player over here. And as you can see now, he's slipping a bit actually. But it all should not matter all that much, since these storms were killer storms, and he has basically won that game with these few storms. You can see that drones are trying to fight right now without any Hydra support, which is never a good sign. Hazel is trying to hold on. She is making quite a few static D in her 3rd base, but At that point, there are some two lurker eggs pretending to be neutral lurker eggs here, trying to be sneaky. This one. But I think these lurkers are a little bit too late. He won't rely on this lurker to save her really, I think. Like, sure those without any protection do suck against lurkers, but Snipe here has the observer here, so these elves can see the lurkers, and now that the natural base falls, it's honestly a matter of time before Hazel decides to throw down the towel and say the two letters and go for the next game. And there we go. So Hazel pulls the GG and Snipe wins our first game of the night in their best of 3 series. So let's update the scores. It is important that we do that. Let's put 1-0 for Snipe, and bear in mind this is a best of 3, so we could be now watching this last game of that series. Snipe can take it, or maybe Hazelnut can give us some comeback mechanics and go for that third game. Second game will be Fighting Spirit, and we do have in the top right corner, spawning in the white color, our Zerg player, Hazel. And in the bottom left corner, we've got our green Protoss player, Snipe, or Laser Snipe, as he also goes by. So, let's see how this game is gonna go. Hazel is going for the standard scouting. And I thought for a second that Snipe somehow connected with me via the cal, went back in time and was gonna go for that one base play. But no, instead he will go for the standard opening, and the most standard of them all. Scout after a pylon and then throw down a forge a bit later. He is doing the full scout though, so maybe he is not relying on Hazel to be doing the quote-unquote standard, going for the standard practices in the ZVP and scouting in the correct direction. So Snipe does miss the first scout and is sending a second probe, so he is quite worried about the potential of some early pool play by our Zerg player. So he wants to know if that will be the case here. He sees a drone, so that can just increase his paranoia level, but seeing that Overlord and the drone going to make natural, I think he can rest for a bit. He knows at this point it's not really an early pool play. He sees the number of drones, so he's quite happy with that. And as a response, you're gonna see, given that there are no links on the way just yet, and that they are in cross positions, he will go for that Nexus before cannon. So a bit greedy by him, but given these players' positions, I think it's justified. So going for that standard 13 next 13 cannon. And meanwhile, Hazel is getting her gas a bit early. So Laser Snipe does have to stick around in the Zerg player's main to make sure that he sees what is that early gas gonna be used for. And so far he's doing quite a good job. The probe has not taken any shield damage. So quite a good thing from Snipe. Let's see what his core timing is gonna look like this game. Okay, so gateway is done. He does have the resources right now to throw down the core. Where is the core, Snipe? There is the core. Slightly late, well, it's 100 milliros. So now he can make a Zealot. And he goes for that Zealot. Okay. Meanwhile, we see that Snipe scouts no lair, but he should be suspicious at that point because the gas has been mining for over a minute right now. And yeah, he goes to the natural, he sees that there is a second, there is no lair in the natural as well, and that there is the production building that is not spawning full. It's the one that comes after the spawning pool. So he should know what's gonna happen this game. Maybe Hazel was thinking, oh, last game was... I did manage to hold off that aggression from Snipe. And there was just very little that I needed in order to beat him, or at least hold off his aggression, his counter-aggression. So she is opting to go for that same build again. As we can see, almost 973 again. And Snipe is responding with the same thing that he did last game. So in his head, the build that he did worked, and the strategy that he opted for was good enough to take a game of Hazel, and now he's doing that, she's doing the same. So he's saying, hey, I know how to react to this, I'm just gonna do the same as well. And I should be able to take this game yet again. See if he's right. He's again going forward Hydro speed range. And now picking up the Zealot. Can they pick up with Hydro? No, they cannot. He's going for quite a few cannons this game. It's gonna be 6 cannons. So he's making quite a few drones. There is no Corsair or Zealot this time. It's time to come from when is Hazel stopping to go for these Hydras? We can see that she's currently not going for anything. She is making some Hydras, but she is forgetting to macro from her third base, which could be currently what costs her the game over here. Because if there's, I don't know, 5 to 7 Hydras more over here, I think she has a good chance of taking this engagement with the Zealots in the can. There are currently 10 Hydras, So imagine these 6 hydras are also there. 8, 10 hydras. So that is 20 hydras plus the 6 hydras that would have come from that thing over here, these larvae. That would have been about 26 hydras. So to control groups of hydras more or less should be able to deal with 6 cannons and some zones that, well, now they do have speed upgrade. But she could have had 2 control groups of hydras against 6 cannons and slow zones. So if I was the reserve player, I'll take that fight any day. But instead, we can see again that she is going for that 4th base. And going for that lair, so she is planning to transition. That is some nice Sim City, this game, but there's a website called broodwall.com that you can use, and it gives you quite some good wall ins for all the races, really, for many of the matchups. And in this position, I think if the hatchery goes here and the hydra then goes here, then that can be placed for Sunkens, and maybe you can place Spore over here. It makes it bolsters your defenses quite a lot. Mission for next week should be decide what is making that game lag, even though I'm the only person observing it. Oh, that Overlord lives on. The Dragoon is too stupid. The passing AI is too stupid. Oh, it's like the Dragoon managed to find a way. I'm pretty sure Snipe had to use a lot of clicks for that, because Dragoons do not tend to be that smart. And let's see what is this shuttle for up to. Dropping them some DTs. Snipe having some difficulty dropping these DTs. You can never really tell. Oh, now an Overlord sees. First DT not doing much, but second DT already at 5 kills. Hazel did manage to see that and intercepted it, so the High Templar did not manage to do much. Okay, so the DT now attacks the building, so she knows. The DT already has 11 kills. So that is about a third of Hazel's economy. And she finally reacts to that with Overlord speed and some Hydras to defend. Going for Spire as she sees that there are some shuttles and she does not have any air units to fight that. She has to rely on her Hydras, and she said nope, I need some Scourge as well. That layer did take about 500 health in damage. So that could have been that spawning pool almost dead now, but nevertheless. There are quite a few Hydras from Hazel. Snipe is trying to sneak some army out. possibly thinking that there is a lurker contained over here. Or maybe he's just trying to set up for a third base. Yep, that seems to be the case. But these three zealots are ignoring that one link. Hazel is now seeing that he's opening the door for that third base, and he's reacting by pulling all her fighters forces to the third base. See what's the reaction gonna be from Snipe. Some nice army movement. He is grouping his forces right now, preparing for an attack. Hazel did manage to successfully deny that base. I'll pick that pylon as well if I was there. You can see that Snipe is almost at the limit, but saying that, Hazel is currently supplied both. That storm, okay, so that first one was only hitting 3 hydras, but the second storm was from the last one. You see the damage that the second storm did. And honestly, things were looking pretty good for Hazel. Up until these 2 storms by Snipe. She is going for... was that Overlord sight range upgrade, I believe? I don't know, is it standard to get Overlord sight range before? I thought that the real good upgrades for Overlord were speed and draw. I mean, sight range is also good. I like to get it for my observers. But possibly the same here. Except that these are tankier and beefier. And way more durable. And can also provide supply. And can also use the transport things. And I'm way more. You know, basically the same thing. Where is Snipe's observatory this game? Okay, there it is. I was gonna say, will he be surprised by this other person? No, but he already has an observer out. What I was talking about, he had it when he was breaking free from that contain. No. I thought there was a Cape boy that managed to sneak by and I didn't notice it. But no, there wasn't. So I saw that dangling dagger that the DTs like to carry around. Again, there are many hydras by Hazel, and she is almost managing to keep up with the proto supply, which is not an easy thing in PvZ. So I think she is playing quite well. It's just that these storms are hurting her way too much. So I don't know if it will all come down to the Snipe storms. He does not really have any high Templar right now available with storm energy. Oh my god, why is it like so bad? This is such a good game, such a good series. Torn apart by my lag. Game sound is slightly loud. Okay, I can fix that. I like my high game sound, but I do agree that it might not be the best for casting. Oh, look at that. An Observer and a Scourge coexisting right now. It's a rare sight. Seeing these two next to each other without actually going ham on one another. And by that I mean the Scourge trying to hit the Observer. The Observer trying to run away under some goons to support it. These things are so fragile. Zerg players can blow them up with their minds if they like. Hazel is nicely setting him for a 5th base over here, but unfortunately not doing a great job with saturating it. But let's see, there's going to be another engagement. How are the storms? There are 2 storms over here, there is 1 storm, there are 2 more storms. So in total that's 7 storms available for Snipe. That was a good storm, that is even better storm. Let's see if there's going to be a storm over here. No, there isn't going to be yet. But there is one right now, and it's also massive. That storm was a bit of a whiff, but that storm was also very good. And I believe this is all the storm. That's all the storms that Snipe had. He is going to have another one quite soon. Let's see if these observers can leave. Seems like the answer is yes, so these lurkers should be no issue for these goons. And there also is one additional storm available on top of that. So a good storm over here should decide that game. Instead, maybe Snipe doesn't realize that he has a storm available. Now he does. Okay, kills 3 Hydras. It's better than nothing. Let's see if he's gonna turn his forces back, or he to gather with his reinforcements, or he's just gonna stay here. That is a very dangerous thing to do in general, because if the Zerg really macros with I don't know, like 30 Hydras, that army is doomed. Snipe now saturating his 4th base. I think Hazel pretty much had the game when she denied the 3rd. The one big mistake, I guess, is that she did not keep denying that 3rd, and she let Snipe economy get quite good. Because you can see that he was nearly mined out at that point, and he's now almost mined out. So yeah, he managed to get that 3rd base, and he mined about a 3rd of it already. So had Hazel kept denying that 3rd base, I believe that game could have been 1st. But also, like, her Hydra forces were quite nice, but storms like this one were the second big thing that he's playing to be the game decider, and talking about that 100 to 150 supply differential over here that we've got right now. There are many lurkers, however Snipe is able to deal with them quite nicely. There are no reinforcements coming from that Nidus Canal. I'm not even sure where that Nidus Canal leads. The correct answer is probably nowhere. That's the one entrance, the one and only entrance, I was gonna say, to the no. Surprisingly, it's still alive. Okay, it's not alive anymore. That's the curse. So yeah, I quite liked Hazel's approach here, and the gameplay, the way that she decided to play out. The only thing is, as I said, did not keep denying that third base, and could try to improve the storm touching a bit. But other than that, I think these two are quite evenly matched, and I'm quite sure that currently I was just a little bit more that Hazel needed in order to take a game off Snipe, and I believe if these two play again, she will be able to do that. So yeah, and right now, I mean, I'm trying to find anything else to say for this series, but it's just that Zerg players sometimes do not want to leave games in a similar fashion to Terran players. But you know, a Terran is never dead until they have 5 SCVs and 3 siege tanks on a high ground, so Zerg players are not quite like that, but they sometimes do like to stay quite a bit as well. And I mean, at that point, it's the... If Snipe wins, it will be the last game of that series. So it's the whole series on the line. And in Hazel's defense... Okay, that favors go down. In Hazel's defense, she sees not a very big army over here. She doesn't know about this, and I'm pretty sure if Snipe tries to include that these two control groups almost of army units as well to his main force, Hazel will admit the defeat and will accept it. Okay. Right now, not the case. Snipe literally has 4 Dragoons, an Archon, and 2 High Templars in the base. So Hazel's thinking that she has a chance. And meanwhile, Snipe just playing with his food over here, throwing down these river drops here and there. And there we go. GG is called by Hazel, and Snipe takes that series 2-0. As I said, I believe it was quite a close series, despite Snipe winning it in a 2-0 fashion. And I'm not quite sure, like Snipe probably can tell me when that series was played. But I know as a fact that Hazel improves daily, if I was gonna say weekly, if not daily, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that she can do that.